We are so grateful you're able to join us this morning to celebrate the tremendous service and support you give to the Metropolitan government and our residents. Metro's Mayor Service Award celebrates our employees' milestones of significant dedicated service and employment. When many people start a job in an organization, few can imagine a career that spans 30, 35, 40, 45, or even 50 years. This year, we have over 130 employees who have met these milestones. That is such a tremendous testament to your dedication, your work ethic, and commitment to our community and city. With this kind of service and longevity, many of you have become like family to those of us here at Metro. You help our city run and our residents thrive, and help our community through challenges and triumphs. We are forever grateful for your courage, commitment, and leadership you continue to give us all. As we continue our thanks and gratitude, I welcome my close personal friend, colleague, and long-term Metro employee, Ron Denton, to lead our invocation.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Are you glad to be here? Yes. Nod your heads, yes. I'm glad to be here. Let's all stand for a minute. It's good to see a lot of you folks that I haven't seen in a while. And first thing I want to say, good morning, family, because we are a family here today. If you've been here 20 or 25 or 30, or some of us have been here a little longer than that, you know more about each other than you do your own family sometimes. But I am thankful and grateful that I've had the opportunity to be here this day. You should be thankful and grateful that you got another day. Some folks didn't get another day. But we're glad that you're here. Now I want to say a couple of things. This is my time. I heard a distinguished gentleman come into the room and greeted me a while ago and was talking to somebody and by the name of Billy Fields, and he said something about the old people here now. We're going to get that straight right off the bat. I don't use the word. I got a new doctor, and he was about 35, and I told him right off the bat when I first met him, I said, Dr. Anderson, you need to understand, I don't use the word old, and I never will be old. You understand me? And he said, I think I get the picture. I said, well, you need to get the picture. I said, I may be mature or seasoned, but I never will be old. So we're not going to use that word this morning. We're going to use the word thankful. And we are thankful that you all have stayed the course. If you read your little program in here, we talked about the day and the hour in which we're living, people stay 4.1 years. Is that right? On the average. I wonder what that's going to look like as we go down the journey for the Metropolitan government. I won't see it, and most of you all won't see it either, but we are a Metro family of people. And we want to honor those who so diligently have come to serve this great city that we have. And we want to express our thanks for each and every one of you, whatever your position would be. But first, I really want to express thanks for those folks who come and put their life on the line every day. We are living in some wicked times. And it takes somebody who has, first of all, they have to love that position to come and do it. And I'm thankful that they do. And I'm not slighting anybody. I'm thankful for fire department, police department. And I'm glad I turned the spigot on this morning and had water in the house, you know. But we are living in some desperate times. So Let's get started. Let's ask the Lord to bless us this morning. Our wonderful Lord, we come today with a thankful heart, and we come thanking you for each and every one of these folks that's sitting on this chair today and their service that they have given this government. We're thankful because they have been faithful. We are thankful because they have continued to serve and have done it because they care about this city and the support of the people that they serve. They care about that, or they wouldn't be here. I ask your blessings, first of all, on this land. We need a touch on the land today, oh Lord. We need a touch on this city today. We need a move that would mold us and make us into a people that's pleasing to you. As we close the meeting today, let us leave here going forth, and as long as we continue this journey to be a people pleasing to you and serving our fellow citizens and our brothers and sisters and the humanity that we serve every day. I ask that you bless the mayor and his office and his staff as they lead and guide us and direct in new endeavors, that it would be a help and pleasing to you. Keep us today. We give you praise for it. We thank you for it. We thank you for everybody that's here again. Your faithfulness has been to each and every one of us, whether we realize it or not. You have kept us in times of distress and hardship and violence and difficult places. Your presence was there to keep us, and we thank you for that. Bless the furtherance of this meeting today. Bless the food that's been so provided for us today, from the farm to the table, and everybody that's touched it. And we give you praise for it. And we ask it in your wonderful name. And everybody in the house says, amen.
Thank you, Ron, for those wonderful and supportive words and praise. It is now my great honor and pleasure to introduce Mayor Freddie O'Connell.
Well, thank you, Director Hall, and good morning, everyone. This is one of the very best days to think about as a family in Metro, which I've been a part of in some ways for 15 years, so starting to find a little bit, I guess, of that seasoning and maturity. But for anybody who's lived here for as long as the period that we're going to be recognizing today, those of us like me who grew up here, my favorite part of this day and why we do this is the opportunity to say thank you. Because for most of us, we get up every day and the city just works. And that is what is supposed to happen. We are supposed to be able to turn on the water at home. We are supposed to rely on all the many different parts of our local government being something that people can rely on. And I think my reflection on growing up in Nashville is I've got so many great stories of the times when that happened for me or my family, and now to be able to be here to recognize it personally after so many years of working with so many of you is tremendous. So I know that everybody being recognized today has dedicated time away sometimes from family and friends and moved it toward the residents of this city. And we are grateful for both the service and the sacrifice that requires. I wouldn't have expected anything less in the decades that I've gotten to experience it just as a resident, but then also as a part of the Metro family. So today we're honoring excellence and career-long commitment. It's a moment to stop and recognize that your colleagues see this. The leaders who are here from our departments see this, including our Human Resources Director, and your Mayor and Metro Council also see this. So I want to personally say thank you, because you are the ones who make this city work. You are the ones who make Nashville a place where people want to live, work, and play, and ultimately want to stay and can. Today we'll be recognizing long-term dedicated Metro government employees with 30 or more years of service, taken in 5-year bands. We have over 130 Metro employees who met these milestones for 2023, and more than 80 of them are attending this event, many of them with a spouse or close family member. And I do want to take a moment to pause and celebrate the shared journey. If you are here in support of one of our awardees today, as a spouse or sibling, family or friend, child, parent, could you please stand at this moment if you're able? All right. We know that you all have been supporting such an important journey for our workforce, and that this is only possible because of your support as well, that someone can reach these incredible milestones. So want to also recognize our elected officials and department directors who are here with us today. If you are a department leader or somebody who is in elected office, would you also please stand at this time if you're able? Great, thank you. We know that these individuals also are here often in that place where if something didn't work, they are accountable to that, and I know I am in the same position. So I want to thank those people who are out here every day making sure that we are pointed in the right direction together and doing this work together. And most of all, I want to thank all of our long-serving Metro employees who are here, knowing that you are here working, serving, and loving this city, which is evident in the years of service you've provided, should be an inspiration to us all, and I will say you inspire me for sure. Every day that I have walked into City Hall for the past several months, I think about how my actions impact the most vulnerable members of our community. I think about what I can do that day to make this city better, how I can make sure that Nashvillians are not being left behind as our city grows, and how we make this just work. And none of that, again, is possible without this being a team, a very large and committed team, and one that is also a family. None of it is possible without you. Making Nashville a better place to live is important to me. My brother and I got to experience so much of the wonder of being in a city that offered us opportunity, that we had an incredible, I'm so fortunate that our family took advantage of seeing the entire city when we were kids, and it's fun for me now to be on that journey with my daughters, but I want them to experience the same thing I did, which is to think about the chance to stay later if this is the right place for them. I know making this an ever better city is important to you too, and that is why it has been so great to see so many of you serve, and as we in the mayor's office renew a focus on customer service, being on that journey with you, and so many people in this room have already interacted with me or somebody in our office as we have improved something, and that is something I'm especially grateful for. But this event is special. It is one of the things that stands out in the time that I've been in office, because it is an opportunity to say those two most important words to that in a position of serving our city, now to say it to all of you who have served for such a long time. Thank you. It's an honor to be with you today. All right, where do you want me to sit for a minute?
If you want to, yeah, put your things down. If you will, I'll be calling each department up individually first. When I do call the department name, if I could have the department leader join Mayor O'Connell up here, and then have the honorees of that department down this left side for you here. As I call your name, you'll be recognized, and Mayor O'Connell and your department leader will present you with your service award. Our first department is Circuit Court. If I could just have you right down here on this side, however is easiest for you. Our first honoree is Tracy Cartwright with 35 years of service. Penny Hubble with 30 years of service. And Kim Jackson with 30 years of service. Codes Administration. Honoring Jerry Ham with 30 years of service. Criminal Court Clerk. Donna Flowers with 30 years of service. And Edward Gross with 35 years of service. District Attorney. Honoring Mitchell Estes with 30 years of service. Department of Emergency Communications. Honoring Angela Milliken with 40 years of service. Finance Department. Andrew Gardner with 40 years of service. And Lenitria Joyce Bentley with 30 years of service. Fire Department. Our first honoree is Michael Campanelli with 30 years of service. Rodney Davis with 30 years of service. Angela Goins with 30 years of service. Michelle Smith with 35 years of service. And Kent Travelon with 30 years of service. General Services. Honoring Jerry Hall with 35 years of service. General Sessions. Okay. Honoring Michael Sharp with 30 years of service. Metro Public Health Department. Teresa Howes with 35 years of service. And Regina Smotherman with 35 years of service. Human Resources. Our first honoree is Lori Meyer with 35 years of service. Tabitha Nash with 30 years of service. And Vichelle Workings with 35 years of service. Information Technology Services. Our first honoree is Nathan Eubanks with 30 years of service. Greg Nicholson with 30 years of service. Randy Powell with 35 years of service. And Dick Sessler with 30 years of service. Juvenile Court. Dolores Gwynn with 35 years of service. Juvenile Court Clerk. Tammy Suggs Daniel with 40 years of service. Metro Legal Department. Honoring Lisa Stafford with 30 years of service. Metro Action Commission. Our first honoree is Herlene Clark with 30 years of service. Corita Edwards with 35 years of service. Sharon Suggs with 30 years of service. Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure. Did I get that right? It's a mouthful. Our first honoree is Brian Baker with 30 years of service. Billy Fields with 35 years of service. Marcus Jackson with 35 years of service. Herbert King with 45 years of service. And Gary Ware with 40 years of service. Parks Department. Our first honoree is David Butler with 30 years of service. Timothy Cartmill with 40 years of service. Mark Cole with 45 years of service. And Ralph Tommen with 35 years of service. Metro Nashville Police Department. Our first honoree is Rita Brockman Baker with 35 years of service. Jeffrey Biggerstaff with 30 years of service. Marcia Brown with 35 years of service. Michael Burgess with 30 years of service. Mitchell Burgess with 30 years of service. Brad Burns with 30 years of service. Leonard Cato with 35 years of service. Our own Chief, John Drake, with 35 years of service. Ralph Griggers with 30 years of service. Rhonda Hager with 30 years of service. John Hirsch with 30 years of service. Stephen Lewis with 35 years of service. Ricky Mickelwain with 30 years of service. Kathleen Phillips with 35 years of service. Jimmy Reed with 35 years of service. Janine Sarno with 30 years of service. Keith Sutherland with 30 years of service. And Isaac Wood with 30 years of service. Thank you, Chief. Nashville Public Library. Okay. If you'll offer us one brief moment. No problem. From Nashville Public Library, honoring Carl Ken Feith with 30 years of service. Davidson County Sheriff's Office. Our first honoree is Eric Bowder with 30 years of service. Christopher Hampton with 30 years of service. Thomas Swars with 35 years of service. And Marcia Travis with 35 years of service. Metro Social Services. Honoring Tammy Carol Duncan Hunt with 30 years of service. And Frankie Webster with 40 years of service. state trial courts. Honoring James Blackmore with 30 years of service. Metro Water Services. Our first honoree is Michael Burgess with 35 years of service. Robert Cooper with 35 years of service. David Irvin with 40 years of service. Jimmy Howell Jr. with 35 years of service. Thysakla Morris with 35 years of service. Mansoor Tavakoli Dihagi with 35 years of service. Cecil Trotter with 35 years of service. Anthony Wagner with 35 years of service. And Michael Walker with 30 years of service. And our final department today will be Assessor of Property. Our honoree is Michael Matlock with 45 years of service. And if all of you will join me with one more generous round of applause for all of our honorees today. another generous thanks for all that you do for our government every day and continue to do for many of you. I hope that you and your guests will stay, enjoy breakfast that is right behind you for as long as you are able, or take a to-go plate if you may. But I really appreciate all that you do, and have a wonderful day. Thank you again.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.